Hey guys, it means so much to us that you download our podcast every week. It's awesome. It gets us out of bed in the morning. And we just want to ask you to do us just the little teeny, eensy-weensy little favor. Just check out our sponsors. Literally, without them, there is no show. And then that means there's no us. It's like a little domino effect. So if they leave us, we have to leave you, and we don't want to do that.
No, because we love doing this show.
Here. Right. They put us here. I mean, we're in these seats because they allowed us to be in these seats. So please, please, please just check them out. Support them in any way that you can. We will love you for life.
And you can figure out who the sponsor is by whoever has a small advertisement on our show every single week. So every single week, if you can do us that favor of going to whoever we speak about, go to their website, check them out, enter a coupon code, whatever you want to do, but go check them out and show them that you support us by supporting them.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
PodcastOne.com presents the Ask Women Podcast. A place where two comics and a professional wing girl get together to dissect the female mind.
You don't know how I feel.
And explain it to men in terms they can actually understand. Boobs. Now, here's the lovely ladies of Ask Women.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ask Women podcast where you get real advice straight from the source. I'm Kristen Carney, comedian, actor. Follow me on twitter.com/Kristen Carney. And of course, we're here with Marni Kinrys, best-selling author of Get Inside Her and the owner of the Wing Girl Method.
I like how you're adding that in now because I kept forgetting it. The whole point, the thing is, I'm a wing girl and I've been a wing girl for 10 years and I've earned that credit. So I feel like it should be said.
Yeah, I'm like
the beginning of our show.
I'm more like a tail girl. Like I'm like behind you. Really want to be? I'm like behind you. I'm dragging probably on the ground a little bit. It's kind of strange. No one wants a human with a tail.
Right.
Anyway, but we have another male voice in the studio today, Taylor Locke. Formerly of Rooney, the really amazing band, but now you're doing some solo stuff. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Are you going to be like a super? What kind of man are you? Are you a? Because we always have a voice of man in here, and we used to have Mo, who was
a douchebag.
Chauvinist. Well, he wanted to be a douchebag. He was actually a nice guy, but wanted to be a douchebag.
So he was a fooshbag.
A
a fake douchebag.
I'm a show off.
Oh,
that's what kind of.
Which is also kind of douchey. Yeah,
I know. Seriously. Well, I want to get more to that in a second, but we're going to try something new today.
I'm the kind of man who needs to know which suite in this office the modeling agency is in, so I can stop by.
It's this one. It's Marni.
Seriously, have you not seen us? Come on, it's right here. Okay, so I'm going to try something new for today and see how people like it. I don't even care if you don't like it. I'm still going to do it. But it's called a Wing Girl Minute. Oh, look at this. It's like 60 minutes. I love it. Okay, so for this Wing Girl Minute, we are going to talk about putting women on pedestals. So stop putting women you know nothing about on pedestals. Yes, they're hot. Yes, other men may want them, but that does not mean that all self-respect gets thrown out the door. Respect yourself first, and women will follow. And that is your Wing Girl Minute. For more tips on how to attract, date, seduce, and get any woman you want, go to winggirldatingtips.com. We will have more Wing Girl Minutes coming up each week.
That was like a Wing Girl.
What do you think of that?
That was like a Wing Girl 38 seconds.
Really? I thought that was a whole minute.
Don't women want to be put on a pedestal? Isn't that nice?
No, not in the very beginning. We do not want to be put on a pedestal.
43 seconds.
43 seconds. Okay, fine. So a Wing Girl, 43 seconds. No,
right.
Okay, when you're in a relationship, it's very different rules from when you're courting and in the attraction phase. So that in the beginning, you there has to be some curiosity. So if right away you approach a woman and you already think you're beautiful, I want you, without knowing anything about her, that is when women feel really creeped out for a man. Because what happens is you start to see through women and you're seeing their potential, although you have no idea what their potential actually is.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Do you? When you're going to all these modeling agencies and knocking on doors? That's what you do?
I think I tend to fantasize and create a story around women that I don't know that well.
But I think women can do that for you as well because you're a musician.
Yeah.
You know, and so women can do that to men who have like a mystique around them.
But I would just think because you are a musician, you have this imaginative side to you where it is more romantic.
Yeah, I tend to think women's stereotype of musicians is kind of negative.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when you're dealing with women like me, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, all musicians suck.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe tell us a little bit more about you as a musician and women.
Well, let's hear your song first.
Oh, okay.
Because we have an awesome song you're going
It's
to play.
not a tough guy song. It's like a sad sack.
That's
song.
okay.
That's
we have
okay.
a lot of sad sacks. Listen, I'm a sad sack, so you're in
So
the
we're
right
all
niche.
good.
Total sad sack.
And Art, of course, our producer, he's so emo, it's unbelievable. I can't even believe you get out of bed in the morning, Art. But this is called Burbank Woman, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And if anyone is familiar with the Doors' classic LA Woman.
Yeah, I'm not really a big Doorsman.
You're not?
No.
You look like you would be, but I think it's so funny because you have LA Woman and now Burbank Woman.
Right. Well,
and
that's the joke, but that is never said in the song.
Oh,
it's not in the lyrics.
Okay,
It just,
okay.
it just
It's just the
When
name
you
of the song.
I was going to maybe call it Valley Girl, but that seemed,
it's
like
a
more
little-
specific to go Burbank Woman.
Yeah. And Burbank Woman sounds like, but she might be like a little less attractive than the Valley Girl. Burbank Woman could be like,
Really less attractive.
she's like, she
Oh,
goes
Burbank
to.
gets a bad rap. I think it's nice out there.
I know. I was thinking that too. I feel like you're more prestigious if you're a Burbank
Oh,
woman
really?
than a Valley girl.
Just every time I've been to Burbank, I'm like, oh, it's so ugly here.
Well,
It's
I barely had been to Burbank until I went out on a date with this girl there.
Right.
Okay, so
which
she was
inspired the
attractive, I
song.
take it.
What's that?
I don't know. Let's
Yeah,
play the
no,
song.
I should, yeah.
Sorry, I'm ruining it.
Could have sworn that when I left her there, smoking on the front porch with the sunlight in her hair, she was making perfect sense, and my restless mind went quiet. Driving home on unfamiliar roads, felt so good to see a part of town I didn't know, and I thought to myself, maybe part of me is changing. She knew something she didn't say. Deep in her heart there was a valley and no freeway to get there. Never mind the miles or my persistence. She was gonna keep me at a distance. Sometimes I'd find her an empty stare, think she was looking back at a life no longer there. And I'd try to catch her eye, but her restless mind was working. But still it felt like she was leaning into me, in the taxi, in the warm bed, and the laugh she gave so easily. I didn't want to think, somehow, somewhere, things were changing. She knew something that she didn't say. Deep in her heart there was a valley and no freeway to get there. Never mind the miles or my persistence. She was gonna keep me at a distance. If only there were words to change the way she felt when she walked away. She's heard it all and still she knows she's come too far to get too close. To get too close. She knew something that she didn't say. Deep in her heart there was a valley and no freeway to get there. Never mind the miles or my persistence. She was gonna keep me. Yeah, she knew something that she wouldn't say. Deep in her heart there was a valley and no freeway to get there. Never mind the miles or my persistence. She was gonna keep me at a distance. Gonna keep me at a distance. She won't get too close. Gonna keep me at a distance.
You have a really nice
Right.
voice.
That was awesome.
So this bitch kept you at a distance.
Well, of course she did. She lives in Burbank.
Right. Yeah.
When you're in Santa Monica, she's
Exactly.
in Burbank. I mean, it's going to be a distance.
That's like when I first met my husband. I think I liked him more because he lived so close. Because when I first moved to LA, I would
I
date
love
guys.
a good neighborhood chick.
Yeah, like guys who lived in Silver Lake. I was like, this is never going to work. This is
I live in
long
Los
distance.
Feliz, and
Oh
I walk
God.
to all the restaurants and the bars.
Yeah,
and
we would have
there's-
never dated.
No.
Exactly. I would have. I wouldn't even met you. I would have broken up with you in 2 seconds. Had we met, no matter how wonderful you were. So, can you tell us more about what this song is about and what this girl was doing, so that we can dissect it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times there's like some fiction in songs, or an amalgam of like, there'll be a girl in a song that's really like pieced together from maybe 5 or 6 different girls, because I always like to date about 5 or 6 women simultaneously.
Right.
And then
who doesn't?
Do you usually pull the bad things together or the good things?
It's like, let me just take one negative thing from each of you.
But this song is actually completely literal and straightforward and true story. So it's different for me to just write a dead-on.
So she kept you at a distance. So that was your
she
interpretation.
Fucking lives in Burbank,
Oh, I thought it was like a metaphor.
No.
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. That's why it's Burbank Woman. There's no freeway to get there.
Right. So, so yes, there was a distance.
You can take the 5.
Because a lot of guys write into us asking about like women flaking and women rejecting them in the friend zone, and women who actually like them and don't like them, and how to differentiate between the two.
Friend zone is, what are you, in high school? That's a puss who wrote that in. He needs...
That's about everybody who writes that in. So a lot. But the distance part, because there are a lot of, for both men and for women, when you are dating, and I've heard from typically from one side who likes the other side more, that they don't want to, get too close too fast. They want to go slow. They've been hurt in the past. Like, I just rhymed. I'm like a musician. But I want to know. So if you had this situation with this girl, how do you know that was what was actually going on? She wanted to keep you at a distance because she's been burned in the past, versus, she's just not that into you.
No, I don't know. Do people tell personal stories on this show? Is that the idea?
No, nobody talks about anything personal.
Yeah.
We're never reveal anything.
Sterile and made. No, podcasts, I mean, that's the whole point. It's like you're, kind of having lunch with
you just talk about superficial stuff.
Well, you are having lunch. Do the listeners,
I literally am.
What is that?
If I chew loud enough.
What do you got?
Quinoa
look
chicken.
at him. Look at this guy deflecting.
Okay, all right. Let's get into the fucking Burbank.
First swear word. We're ready to go.
Sorry. So, met this gal.
Yeah.
Out one night. Didn't have any mutual friends. Not a dating site. Not a Tinder. Not a mutual friends. Just saw her. Approached her. Phone number. We go out. First date. Dinner party at a friend's house. Met a bunch of my friends. She eats normally. There might have been some quinoa involved.
Yeah.
And
is that normal?
She stays the night.
Not where I'm from.
Yeah. She stays the night. She climaxed twice. Me the once.
Excellent. This is great detail. No, give us more. Boobs. I don't know.
And small, but no, I don't like big boobs. No offense. I like butts.
Gotcha. Good butt, obviously.
Great butt. Nice small boobs. And then second date, went out to the Burbank. Went to a comedy show in Pasadena.
It's like you're committed already. You're like lesbians. Do you know that joke? No.
What, lesbians commit really fast?
Yeah. What do lesbians do for their second date? They bring a moving truck. What? Have you not heard that?
Good. Yeah, that's funny.
That is good.
Okay. So you drove to Burbank. That's a huge commitment. For people who are listening in Los Angeles, that's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
To do.
Like 15,
from Los Feliz.
15 minutes on the 5. 10 minutes on the 5.
But it could be an hour and a half.
If there's traffic.
Yeah.
Hey, you're fucked.
Okay, you're boring me to death. You're boring me to death.
Okay.
Why did you
trying
keep
to
you
draw
at a distance?
this out.
No,
Trying to draw this out.
Why'd you keep you at a distance?
Well, let me tell you about
we're
our
not
second
running a song
date.
here.
You don't want to hear about our second date?
If it includes the distance part.
She kind of disappeared on me after the second date. Couldn't reach her.
Oh, interesting.
And I kind of...
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as much as I want to just play it cool and just move on, maybe she's not that into me, there was a certain chemistry on both of those dates that seemed unique and powerful. And
She climaxed twice. Of course you think there's chemistry.
Yeah, and maybe it was once. Maybe she faked it. I don't know. One real, one fake. That's
right.
What, I'll take
Still.
that. So I just couldn't reach her, and as much as I wanted to just let it go, I was like, there was something...
There's something there.
Yeah, so I kind of...
This is what I'm talking about.
Like you knew in your gut not to let it go yet.
Yeah. So I wrote her a long text and was like, I feel like you should explain yourself. Where'd you go? We had a good time, And then she dropped the ball that she just gotten out of an 8.5-year relationship.
There you go. I like that you did put something out there, because a lot of guys, they'll just try different tactics, like continue to ask her out and continue to get flaked on or continue to not have any responses, and they'll hold on to the tiniest bit of anything to keep them going. But so I like that you did put it out there and say, what's going on.
I felt like I needed to know. So she told me, which I appreciated, and and that was that. And then a lot of time went by, And then I asked her out again, and we went out a couple times again, and then she still kind of wasn't ready.
Well, sadly, this is, that's sad for you, but I'm actually really glad that it happened because this was something that we wanted to talk about today.
Midwest. Do you have a Midwest accent?
I do, but I'm not from the Midwest, so it's very tragic.
Where are you from?
Upstate New York,
right?
but it's
What?
we're Hicks.
How did you get that?
I don't know. We're Hicks, so we're all
tragic.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Believe me. I wish I had a cool New Yorker accent. Instead, I have the
You could fake
Midwest.
it.
Yeah, but anyway, we wanted to talk about today because we have a man's playbook segment. And we wanted to talk about when to kind of give up on the woman that you have in your heart, but you have to kind of know that
When
it's
they
over.
say, I'm not interested.
Yeah, when do you let it
That's a
go?
good time.
So let's start this chapter in the man's playbook.
Horny to win.
I am horny to win.
Blame Art for that.
I'm horny to win. I'm so horny to win. I love it.
You know what? I'm actually into the death penalty because Art deserves it for that song. I really...
Yeah. Come on, you
Art,
like
speak
it.
for yourself.
You want to fight on the air right now?
Yeah,
But let's talk about it. So when do you give up? Because the thing is like, yes, fine. She's going through a bad breakup. That was, very nice of her to tell you once you asked that she's going through a bad breakup. But when do you know when somebody is giving you an excuse, right? Or when they're being real about it? And when do you finally give up? What do you guys think?
Never.
Never. Really? Well, you're a musician.
I
you
think,
need songs.
yeah, emotional people would say never, but what that does is I think extend a lot of pain throughout your life. And sometimes people live off of pain. I do. I know that. And you probably
Or what
enjoy a
happens
little bit of the
is-
emotional hurt. But I think for people in general, to be able to move forward in their lives, have to cut it off because
Yeah.
you're always going to be comparing everyone to her. And it's never, ever going to be what you expect.
Well, I have this
anyone else to
one
be.
client right now who's going through this, and it's like he's continuing. What the hell is wrong with me? Continuing. I have a blister on the top of my mouth, so I think that's what's causing the issues. To put himself through pain. It's like he's letting somebody continuously
I do it all the
punch
time.
him over and over and over again.
I just do
And
it with spicy food.
But I said to him, you teach people how to treat you. So, like, you are telling people how to treat you. If you're going to continuously put yourself out there and completely forgive her behavior of really disrespecting you, because that's ultimately what's happening.
And it goes the other way too. Like I notice I treat women very differently, each woman, and
Right.
I've been an ideal partner, and I've also been horrible, and I agree that people treat you how to teach you how to treat them.
Absolutely. And the thing is like here's a piece of advice. I would say anytime that you're questioning what another person is thinking, even though your behavior is not going to be identical to somebody else's behavior, I think if you say, okay, if I were to do what this person is doing, what would it mean? So if I were to not respond back to text, not respond back to a phone call, not agree to go on a date, what would it mean for me? It means I'm not fucking interested.
Right.
I don't
Except
like you
in this
enough.
particular case, I knew that there was something else, and I just wanted to get to the bottom of it.
There was a
It
reason
wasn't
for it.
simply like, not that into it.
Right. It could have been.
Well, but it wasn't, because I asked and I found out.
Yeah, but I could also say I just had a surgery last week if I wanted to.
Okay.
I could.
Yeah, all right.
I could technically say that. Because, listen, if I am really into a person and I agree to go on a date, I have sex with them, I'm ready to get back out there in some way. There's something that about the connection with you.
Now you're changing my... Okay.
Oh, sorry. Do you have to rewrite the song now?
Fucking mess.
Am I screwing you over?
But well, the hard thing about this is that you have to tell yourself I guess you have to be honest with yourself, which can be painful and can hurt.
Yeah.
Because basically when you have to tear down all the details around it, it comes down to the fact that like she's just not that into you.
I have to face
Right,
some
and that's
girls
something that
don't like me.
Exactly. And so I think some people have a really hard time just accepting that.
But it's not some girls don't like you. It's not that it's that they
Well,
don't.
that's true. Some girls don't like me.
Yes, but in this situation, it was that you guys had that connection for what you guys did, and there was no need to continue. Like, there's a lot of times where in the past I've dated a guy, 3 times, let's say. We make out, we have fun with each other, and then by the 3rd date, I'm like, I don't really want anything more from this person, but I had a good time with them, but I don't see anything going further with them. So it's not like they don't like you, it's that they don't want to continue and that chemistry isn't strong enough for them to continue. Or if they did go through a bad breakup, that in comparison to their last boyfriend who still is on their mind, you aren't overpowering him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because for a lot of people, the way to get over an older relationship is to get under somebody else or to be in a new relationship with somebody who, does make you feel better and makes you kind of forget that last person.
I think there's something to be said for a lot of these decisions being rooted in fear, though, of getting hurt again.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're in a fresh, breakup situation.
For sure. Absolutely. If you've been really hurt in a relationship, fear does come into play.
Also, the length of that relationship was no joke, 8.5 years, he really...
That's badass.
Yeah, it's a very long time. But that means that she's not ready to give herself to you. So that
that's
chemistry
her benchmark for what a relationship is. I was like,
Right.
well, why don't we just can't we just go out for a couple months and then we'll go to Vegas and see the Beatles Cirque du Soleil show and I'll spoil you and spend a bunch of money and then decide we don't even like each other anyway and just fucking blow it up in a month.
Did you say yes to that?
No, because her idea of a relationship is 8.5 years.
Right.
Well,
Right.
she needs to change that idea.
Right.
That is not reality.
And I should probably change my idea of spend a bunch of money on you for a month and then blow it up.
How long ago?
No, if that's what you like doing,
No,
if that's your thing,
well, I don't know.
I mean, you need lyrics.
yeah,
so-
I can invent. It doesn't have to be a true story.
How long ago was this?
Like 6 months.
6
I
months
guess,
ago.
something like
And
that.
do you still have the intense feelings for her today?
No, we're just talking about it because I played the song.
Okay.
I would like that.
So that's basically what it comes down to is that you let it go and you moved on.
Right.
And I think that's healthy. You gave it a shot. You gave it a try. You followed up and then you moved on. So I think that's...
So the lesson for the chapter, for today's chapter in the Man's Playbook is, I would say, give it a couple of goes, continue to reach out maybe once or twice, and then you can actually, do what you did by saying, okay, I thought we did have something. Can you kind of clue me in as to what's going on? I love that you asked for an explanation, and I love that you received one. And I think a lot of guys it would really help them if they did put that out there instead of being so afraid to scare her off if they were to do something like that. So then if you really want and you really did feel a strong connection, put it out there. Ask why it didn't work. Hopefully you'll get an answer, but then move on. Like, don't let it drag out for months and months and months and months and months. Even if you get into a situation where you are hanging out with a girl and then she trails off, then you hang out with her again and then she trails off and then you hang. Like, if you have to work that hard to get a person to pay attention to you, it's not working. They're not feeling that chemistry with you.
And then if you date other people, it's going to preoccupy you and you're not going to be available for whoever else you're going out with.
Exactly. You're missing so many opportunities because you're fixating on this one person who, in my mind, is not respecting you and treating you the way that hopefully you want and deserve to be treated. And that wraps up this chapter in the Man's Playbook. So, Kristen, you are up.
So we have the Tinderella story segment because Tinder has become such a pop culture phenomenon.
I call them Tinderonis.
Tinderonis.
Oh, cute. Well, we're calling them Tinderella stories.
Yeah, so you lose. Oh, I love this.
Back to reality and welcome to Tinder, everybody.
I love that.
Everyone that we've talked to so far has basically said they haven't gotten a relationship out of Tinder, but it almost seems more like a social thing. But I just thought it would be fun to read like a quick little blip of people's either good or bad stories from Tinder, preferably bad. So if you guys are listening and you do have some bad Tinder stories or online dating stories at all, cool. We'll talk to you about that in a minute. Yeah. But please write them in at ask@askwomenpodcast.com. But this one's from BuzzFeed, and it's not super cringeworthy, but it made me really uncomfortable.
Oh, perfect.
Because if it were me, I just would be like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. Okay, so this Tinderella story is, I met this guy from Tinder for drinks at a place in my neighborhood, and it was going okay at first. And then about 20 minutes into the date, he tried to hold hands, which I thought was weird. My silent reaction was basically question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. So immediately and immensely awkward, I pulled my hand away and stuck it firmly to my wine glass. A few minutes later, I got up and I had to go to the restroom. The moment I got into the stall, he texted me, "Have a good night."
Oh my God.
So by the time I got back, he was gone and the bill was paid.
Oh, the bill was paid?
Yeah, that's why it's a Tinderella story. You slept off your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
A free glass of wine.
Why did this make you so uncomfortable?
Because I would be like, oh my God, he left. And I'm like, here, but it's like, I didn't want to be that mean about it.
Right.
It was weird to hold my hand 20 minutes in when I don't even. That's very
You
strange.
should feel off the hook if he's gone. The fucking weird handholder guy's gone.
That's true.
Seriously, it's like you won. That is a
Yeah,
Tinderella
that's true.
story.
Yeah. So that was
I
our
like
first
that.
Tinderella
I
story.
love it. I think it's fantastic.
Ugh, there's literally nothing worse than shaving with an old blade. It's like, is my face already screwed up enough? Now I need scars all over it? I don't think so. A great way to avoid that is to use Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club is amazing. DollarShaveClub.com. They ship quality blades and other cool bathroom stuff to your door, so you don't have to even put pants on to get a great shave. And by that I mean go to the store. It couldn't be easier. You literally pick one of their great razors, and like clockwork, you get a package in the mail once a month and everything you need for a great shave right there. Not an everyday shaver. You like a little stubble? I do too, and it's sexy to the ladies. So instead, you could join the club and just opt for delivery every other month, so you don't need them every month. Stop trudging to the store for overpriced blades. They're such a rip job. And I go to buy a razor. They're behind a plastic case like it's some sort of gold or something, which is absurd. You're like, excuse me, store employee, could I get a razor, please? Go to DollarShaveClub.com and order there. Please join everyone here at Ask Women and the hundreds of thousands of guys who have upgraded to the smarter way to shave. Shave time, shave money, guys. Join DollarShaveClub.com/AskWomen. That's DollarShaveClub.com, not .net, not .gov, .com/AskWomen. And remember to support these guys, because what these guys do is support the show. And for that, we thank them. And we thank you.
All right, so now what do we do?
So we're coming into the second half of the show with Stevie Ryan, who is not a man. She's a very gorgeous woman.
Yes.
She's a very funny actress, and we're going to talk to her about what it's like to be hot and funny and
There's
successful.
so few of us.
Yes, there's so few of me.
Right. I was trying to say I'm funny too, Kristen. That sucks. But we'll be right back with Stevie Ryan. Hey guys, it's Marni. Buying a car is a not so fun experience for most people, and it doesn't have to be. At TrueCar.com, they'll help you get rid of the fear that you may overpay. You know when you'll get a fair price because they show you what others paid for the car you're looking for. TrueCar.com analyzes what people are paying for their cars in their market and shares it with consumers so that they never have to overpay. Over 40,000 cars were sold by TrueCar certified dealers just last month. Users see an average savings of $3,046 off MSRP. TrueCar certified dealers go through a certification process, and you work directly with a TrueCar representative that will honor your savings. TrueCar certified dealers believe that truth and transparency are essentials to a better buying experience. First, go to TrueCar.com and find out what others pay for the same vehicle in your market and around the country. Second, register at TrueCar.com to see upfront pricing information and lock in your savings certificate. And the third step is simple. Just print out your certificate and take it to the TrueCar certified dealer for a better hassle-free buying experience. TrueCar has the most comprehensive new car pricing information available and a certified network of dealers that offers a hassle-free car buying experience and negotiation-free guaranteed savings. Support the Ask Women podcast and shop at TrueCar.com.
Hey, stupid, what's going on? 'Tis I, Randall. You know me best as the voice of the honey badger. Well, guess what? Pretty soon, I'm going to have my own podcast. That's right. It's Honey Badger's Badass Animal Podcast. And each week, I'm going to bring you amazing animal stories, interviews, a whole bunch of fun stuff. And you're not going to want to miss it. Coming soon to Podcast One, it's Honey Badger's Badass Animal Podcast. The only place to be to listen to it is right here on PodcastOne.com.
You're listening to the Ask Women Podcast, a Podcast One presentation.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Ask Women podcast. We are here with, of course, Taylor Locke, who's with us today, but also Stevie Ryan, who's a very pretty, very funny actress.
You're lying.
I swear.
Fine, you're not pretty and you're not funny.
Thank you. Finally.
Yeah, like, finally she said it.
Finally, the truth.
I'm lying about the actress part.
Yes. Definitely not an actress. I actually never admit to that.
Really?
Why?
Like when I go to the doctor and they're like, so what do? And, small talk, I'm like, oh, stuff. Like, it's embarrassing to.
And stuff
Yeah, you don't want to talk about.
And stuff is better than saying, like, I'm an actress, just like every other girl that comes in here.
Yeah,
like,
right.
don't you hate all of us? Like,
Right,
it's
that's
basically
true.
saying, I'm an awful human being.
Right.
How much do you hate
Because you
me?
do get the eye roll. It's like, okay, great. Like, I've
Yeah.
never seen you before, but like, whatever. Fine,
Exactly.
I'm not-
They're like, oh, really? Well, what did you act on? And you're like, I don't even fucking want to talk about
But if
it.
someone at the same time says, "Are you an actress?" I'm like, "Yes." How did you know?
How'd you know? Did you recognize me from what?
They're like, "You look really sad." I'm like, "Oh, that's fine. Okay."
So
Like,
depressed.
because I filled your prescription and it's an antidepressant.
Right.
So it's-
Xanax.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So tell us about being pretty and funny, because you said that's what we were going to
Well, I'll
talk
let you
to you
know.
about.
We coach men, or we no. I
You
don't coach
guys
men.
would know about being pretty
That's
and
all that we
funny.
were fishing for. Was that?
So you tell me.
It's
What's it like?
fantastic.
Isn't it awesome?
It's fantastic. No, so on our show, we talk to men, and women listen as well. And men want advice on how to attract, date, pick up, seduce, whatever. They want to know how to do things with women without being douchebags.
Right.
So they would want to know how to do those things with you. So how do guys win you over, or how have they won you over in the past?
I feel like it's so simple. Like, here's the thing, dudes. Girls are so easy. Like, not in the sense of we're easy, you can just fuck the shit out of us. But, well, maybe some. But
Yeah.
it's so easy to... Well, I feel like it's so easy to get a girl, or to keep a girl, or to attract a girl.
So
It's
tell
very
us how.
easy.
How?
Well, I don't think it starts with looks. I was listening to one of your guys' shows, and I can't remember which one said it, but one of you was like, I would go for George Costanza.
That's me. That's me.
Oh, girl, I'm so with you on that. First of
Yeah.
all, Brad Pitt is not
No,
hot. I
he's-
mean, maybe for some, but
He's
for me,
pretty.
no.
He is very
But
pretty.
it's so perfect that it's
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 vanilla.
too much. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
vanilla.
It's boring.
It's
I actually-
very boring.
Yeah.
And I actually want to quote Amy Schumer from like an episode I watched of her show the other night, because she said those type of men are so attractive that they don't even appear sexual to me, because they're like on this different plateau.
Yes, that is
Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I agree with that. Same thing with George Clooney. It's just not...
It doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't do it for me. I so much prefer the guy who's like funny and goofy and just fun to be around, and
Yeah,
is
Seth
cool to hang
Rogen,
out with,
done.
and just wants to like lay on the couch, never leave the house, and be a hermit crab with me, and just eat lots of delicious food.
Yeah.
That's what I'm into.
I've always compared it to, which is probably not a great metaphor, but like the Brad Pitt is like the golden retriever of men,
Yeah.
which is like, yeah, okay, they're great, they're classic.
Yeah, they're in
you know,
a
you
lot of
can't hate 'em.
commercials.
Yeah, they're non-threatening, but it's like I've seen it like too much.
Yeah, I like the pug. I want the pug.
Yeah, exactly.
To cuddle with on the couch. It's kind of weird looking and makes funny noises.
Exactly. And that's the George Costanza of dogs.
Exactly.
So-
the pug.
So you have dated a lot of pugs.
I've dated a lot of pugs. I've also dated guys that, are attractive and not so Brad Pitty. I can't say Brad Pitty, but I've dated guys where I can share clothes with them. We wear the same pants, stuff
Oh,
like
wow.
that. But my
Is that type of person a musician by chance? Because we have one in the room.
Yes.
Yes, I've dated a musician before, and I did not date you, so this is not about you. But it was very difficult dating a musician. Very difficult.
Why?
For me. They're like banging everyone. At least,
Yeah.
in my experience,
It's like killing a million STD stones or birds with one stone. or
Exactly.
something.
I'm not into, STDs and going to the doctor all the time. It's very expensive. But no, it's hard, and it will fuck you up after a while as a girl, chasing around someone that, likes being chased around by lots of women. It messes you up.
Right.
Maybe not all girls, but I'm very sensitive.
No, well, tell us more about that, because I don't think guys know or believe that women do have to do chasing, especially when they look like you. So tell us more about chasing men. And
Well, I don't get chased. Like, that's the other thing that drives me nuts is people are constantly like, oh, well, you don't have, like, guys are just lined up to hook up with you. Like, you don't have to worry about it. And that's really not the truth. Like, guys are not lined up. Guys are running away, and they hate me. And it's very hard to lock it down. And I don't know if that's because we live in Los Angeles, and it's very hard to meet a guy that wants to commit. It seems like a lot of men are kind of waiting for the next best thing. And I feel like I'm always falling into that trap of being with someone that is waiting for the next best
really,
thing.
because we were talking about that at the beginning of the show. It's like when to know to let go. Like how many times can you be flaked on? How many times can you be disrespected before you say, okay, like I'm moving on now?
Well, see, have very strict rules now. It's taken a while, but after having a few, actually it was that one relationship with that musician that really just did me in.
Your people are
I know,
screwing.
what is wrong with you guys? You know, no, it really messed me up. And after that, it just broke me down in such a weird way that I was like, all right, anything that goes wrong after this or anything that goes against these things in my head, I just have to get away from it. And it's really hard. Sometimes it's harder to walk away from something and to just let go of it than it is to stay in it. It's much more
it's
comfortable
easier.
and easy to stay in something. But
well, what were those things? Because you said if I see any of these things, then I'm going to walk away. So what were the things?
Well, you know, being cheated on. There was that first time it happened where it's like, oh, there was, at this time as well, I'm going to admit, I was young. This happened from 19 to like 22, 23. I was dating this person, so it went on for a few years. But I was also, it started making me crazy where I started going through their phone and like searching for it and going through emails and being very like...
Not you.
Yeah, and now I'm so not like that. Now the second, if I ever had the feeling to check your email or even look at your phone, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, I don't even, like, fuck that. That would drive me crazy if someone had to do that to me.
Right.
But I just feel like that's such a waste of time.
Well, and you don't want to be that person.
Can I point out a subtext
for it.
that I'm
Yeah.
noticing? Do you think there's a correlation between preferring the George Costanza to the Brad Pitt because of the safety and security of them not being chased by other women or not being able to cheat on you because they're...
No.
I know for me it's pure.
Are you sure?
Believe me, I've never been cheated on, and my boyfriend is so boring that I have like no fear of it. It's not something that like comes in my mind. I actually search in the phone to hope for
Because
it.
does he look like a pug?
No, he a very handsome guy.
Oh,
He actually
okay.
kind of
He is
looks
very
like
cute.
you.
Okay.
He does, yeah. But he's
Sounds hot.
he's super hot. He could use a little more muscle. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke for you.
Yeah.
But it's purely because it's a personality thing. When I look at the Brad Pitt, I'm like bleh, bored out of my
Right.
mind. I would
But
be
for
really
you-
surprised if we hit it off and had like tons of jokes and fun things to say, but I'm 99%
Well,
sure we
he's
wouldn't.
a great architect.
But these are our
He's
like
one of my favorite architects.
Yeah, like I don't know
Van
Brad
Allen.
Pitt personally, so I'm sure if he had an amazing personality that did blow me, out of the water, I think it would sway me more. But from what I've seen in his movies, I'm the same way. It's kind of like it is the golden retriever. It's like, okay, great, you can spin around in a circle.
So it's
and you
not
can
that you're
smile.
nervous that other women are interested.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I've never been cheated on as well, and my husband is just lazy. He would never do that. So I have no.
Hey, Art, do you think I'm making a good point here?
No,
I think
I think
back
you
up
are.
on this?
No, but I think you're making a good point
I
too,
think
because
you're
it is
making
good
a
to
great
question
point.
that.
No, I think it's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The safety
no.
in the Costanza pug.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, I have one of my best friends is totally going through this right now where she's not going to date any more model types because all of these model types she's dated have cheated on her. And so she's that has nothing to do
There are
with
a
the way
lot
that
of really beautiful women who wind up with funny-looking guys.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But a huge thing for women is safety and security. That is potentially what we're looking for. That's
But
one
most
of the
likely
18
a guy
characteristics
like George
that we're
Costanza will
finding
be
attractive.
fired at some point. So there's not too much safety in George
Right,
Costanza.
exactly.
Look at Rick Ocasek. Classic
God.
example.
Best
From
example.
Cars. He's married to that
Cars.
supermodel.
He's married to Paulina.
Oh, I don't know
Oh.
who that is.
She's like the most beautiful woman who's ever lived, and he was like a fucking
She's a very
praying
beautiful woman.
mantis.
Right.
Praying
But yeah,
mantis are
but
cute.
I forgot, like 8 years ago, I did this interview with Dr. Benjamin Carney from the Relationship Institute, and we were talking. Oh God, I'm going to totally screw this up. But he was talking about the way that women look at men. It's depending on what mood they're in at that time. So if they just want to have a one-night stand, they're going to go for the prettiest, golden retriever in the room because they don't care about safety and security. They just want to have a good experience they can tell their girlfriends about afterwards and that they can feel proud about. So like looks will be important during that time. If they have fun with him as well, banter is great, they can have sex in the bathroom, then it's over. But if they are looking for something more substantial, the looks, the appeal of looks and someone's physical attributes drop down in the level of importance, and the other characteristics like safety and security, like dependability, loyalty, closeness to resources, those are things that are more attractive to them. And he also did say more women are in the, I'm looking for something a little bit more serious or real. They're in that state more often than I'm looking for a one-night stand. So I think that explains it. But like, I don't think any of us would turn down having sex with Brad Pitt.
Some,
but maybe Kristen would.
I mean, I totally go for like Johnny Depp.
If you were at a party and Brad Pitt like zoned in on you and was like, "This is who I'm going to hit on for the entire night."
If I was single at the time, I'd be like, "Fuck it, why not?" It's Brad
exactly
Pitt. Like if you want, like it's a great story. It's a good story to tell people. Like it makes a great story.
Yeah. Same with me. Exactly. But then if we happen to have great chemistry afterwards,
have it all though. Why
and you can build me a house,
partner that you're like really turned on by, and that you have a nice. Intellectual rapport with.
Exactly. But I think what we're trying to say is that for women, it's not just you're good looking, you have a nice smile, you've won me over, and now I'm going to be completely addicted to you. It's you have a nice smile and you're pretty. What else do you have for me that's going to keep me around for a longer period of time?
I would like a woman to respect my body of work and my body at the exact same time.
Exactly. As she should.
But sometimes they will respect your body because they respect your body of work, therefore it turns them on toward your body.
Good one.
Wow.
We're getting
deep. That was
very, very good.
There.
So we have this segment that's called Analyze This, and we have guys and girls send us in questions, and then we analyze them. We just basically judge them and, see what's going on with them. But they've written in some questions for us, and I would love for you to contribute in helping answer their questions.
I would love
You're up
to
for it?
judge the shit out
Good. Okay, good. All right, so here is the first question. My biggest problem right now is I'm deeply in love with this girl, but she has a boyfriend. I want to learn fractionation as a method of stealing her. What do you think? I don't know what fractionation is, but it sounds like it's like, segmenting. Anyway, let's answer the first question. My biggest problem right now is I'm deeply in love with this girl, but she has a boyfriend. What do you think? Take away the fractionation part.
Well, that's hard. I've been in the position where I've had not deeply in love, I guess, because I feel like you have to have some type of something to fall in love with someone. But I've had big crushes on people that have been in relationships before, and I feel like you just gotta wait it out. Like otherwise.
But do you wait it out and cut off everybody else, or do you wait it out and still date? How do you balance the waiting it out?
Yeah, I would. Okay. I would still date and just wait it out, and you might find something awesome.
But what does waiting it out mean then?
Like just wait until that falls apart, or there's a divorce or something like.
No, you have.
But you could be waiting a long time.
You have to put it totally on the side. It's like waiting to find out if you got a job or not. It's like
you go on functioning as if you didn't.
Correct. Yeah.
And then if it happens to come true, I have a good example of this. My sister was in love with a married man, but they had never, they never hooked up or anything like that. He would come into where she worked, and like she just would like melt every time he came in. But she knew he was married, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love this guy," and she just had it. She was in love with this guy. And about 6 years after she first saw him, he got divorced from his wife. And then now they have a child together and are married.
Well, I didn't have a child with this person, but I had a similar situation years ago. I was in love with this guy that I worked with. I wasn't in love with him, but I had a huge crush on him. I had a boyfriend at the time. He had a girlfriend. Nothing ever happened. My boyfriend and I broke up. A few weeks later, his girlfriend and him broke up, and we ended up dating for like 2 years and living together, and then of course hating each other in the end.
Of course.
But it ended up working out, and I had a huge crush on this person for like 6 months.
Right.
But it sounds like what both of you are saying is that like sticking around and being around that person 24/7, hoping that it's going to end. That's not the right route.
Try to be their friend and go on
living your life,
own dating life, as if that's never going to happen.
Right.
I agree.
And my sister did do that. My sister was dating and living her life, and then it so happened that his marriage fell apart. And of course, once it did, my sister was, eagerly awaiting.
Yeah.
But there was no...
but she wasn't waiting the entire time.
No, there was no on pause for him. It was always like, oh, what if one day? And it happened.
It did.
I'm not saying that's always going to happen.
Because a lot of guys, what I hear from a lot of guys who I work with and who write into me and write into the show is that they become the shoulder to cry on. So they're like, oh God, she's dating this douchebag, and like, why is she with him when she should be with me? And they end up the women get all of this like amazing intimacy from these guys that they're friends with, who support them and listen to them. everything that their boyfriend isn't doing for them. But
it's like emotional cheating.
Yeah, exactly. But they never end up leaving that boyfriend for this guy until that guy ends up separating from her and giving a little bit of distance. And exactly, like what Taylor just said, is going on and living your life. But, maintaining a certain level of friendship and not too much friendship.
I think it also depends on this girl, though. Like, where is she at? Is she super in love and invested in this relationship and really into that, or is she giving him some type of sign that makes him feel like
he should
it's
stick
not
around.
A forever thing?
Do you think he should say something? Because I love what you said in the first half of the show.
There's not a lot of backstory here. Like, what's what is this guy like?
I don't know.
Because the other thing is like, put yourself in.
I have no idea. It's a pickup artist term.
Put yourself in that girl's boyfriend's position. Like, if that were me, I'd be furious. Get away from my girlfriend. Don't fucking talk to her.
Yeah, because then you're the douchebag.
Maybe there's a chance of us breaking up and you can come in, but until then, it's not going to happen.
Do we know how old these people are?
No idea. That's all I have. Like a little paragraph. I'm going to guess. No, I'm going
no 19
idea.
Ohio.
Yes.
Yeah, they are young. Mm-hmm. There is another thing to think about is that if you do end up breaking up a relationship, okay, that shows something about the girl and where she's at, and she could potentially do that to you. So I think the advice that we gave of, not waiting it out, but putting it on the back burner, living your life, and if it happens to come back around, that's fantastic. I think that's the best piece of advice is, okay, if you're in love with a girl, and I don't know what your relationship is with this girl or your name because you didn't even add it in here, but I think
19 Ohio.
19 Ohio. I think if you do have a really good friendship with this girl and there is something between the two of you, you can say something and you can announce where you're at, what you want. And if she says to you, I'm with this guy right now.
That's a lot of pressure to put on her, though.
That's
it
true.
is, but it's honest. It's real and you get it out of the way, right? But if this is a girl.
Their relationship, though, this guy's just got to get something else going.
Yeah.
But it may not. But again, as we said, we don't know the situation. This girl could be waiting for something that gives her the trigger to let go. I'm just saying if it gets to be that bad, then I would say to say something, depending on, I don't know what their relationship is. So I wish we could talk
out, like watching movies every night while the boyfriend is away somewhere and it seems like there's intimacy there, then he should probably confront the issue. But if this is all just
in his
fantasy,
head,
then he needs to leave them alone.
Good way of wrapping that up.
But I think there is something to what you just said about it says a lot about this girl if she is giving him these, mixed messages, or if she ends up breaking up with this boyfriend for him or whatever. It's just going back to what you said, you get him or you lose him how you get him.
Yeah. So. Exactly.
By the way, according to the internet, fractioning means to separate or divide. So breaking up, I guess.
Thank you.
I thought that.
No, but it's
actively trolling their relationship, trying to get them
under
to
PUA lingo.
What is it?
PUA lingo.
PUA lingo.
Yeah, and look up fractionation. It's a pickup artist term. I know it is, but I have no idea what it means because I'm not a pickup artist. Okay, next question. The last few years, I have lost my mojo. I am 43, almost 44, and single, never married, no kids. I have my own house, great career, love kids. My brother has 9. His brother has 9 kids, and he has none. Lately, I seem to be getting more and more often stuck in the friend zone. Here's the pussy we're talking about. Here's the story. I'm just kidding. Whoever wrote this in. Here's the story. I met this girl on OkCupid, and we went out. I met her, and she was with friends. At some point, she was in my lap, rubbing my knees, grabbing sort of close to my crotch, etc. The night ended, and she got very shy as we kissed goodbye. She later claimed the touchy, flirty stuff was easy, but the kiss made her bashful because she liked me. These are all falling into the same theme. I like it.
She's more of a knees kind of gal.
Yeah.
Kissing.
Exactly. More of like a crotch in the hand kind of girl. We met out again on Friday for dinner and had a great date. We talked and laughed, actually sat there a good hour before ordering. After dinner, we went to a local place
annoying for the
and had a
waitress.
drink. Yeah, come on.
Like, what the fuck do you want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about turnover. Again, she was sitting in my lap and would reach over and kiss my cheek, rubbing my legs, grab my ass when I got up to go to the bathroom.
Wow.
Very nice. Oh, very far. He wrote very nice, not me. She said she was tired and I asked her if I could come over. She said yes, and I followed her. Back at her place, we laid on the couch, cuddled, and started making out. Things got extremely hot, and at some point, she said she needed to go to bed. The next day, I texted her and asked her if she wanted to come over and watch a movie after work, or maybe the Penn State game. She kind of just said she would let me know. I didn't hear from her until later that evening when she sent a text saying, "Hey there, I'm about to turn on the big game. I've been thinking and I'm not really interested in pursuing a relationship. It's been fun, but not the best chemistry." So, and then he wrote, "So I'm completely floored. I thought maybe that since I didn't stay over or have sex with her, she took that as a rejection and was beating me to the punch. But I really have no idea what happened here. I mean, it was only the second date. So, yeah, exactly. So it's not that big a deal. But it really does throw me off. So what the hell? Tim."
Okay.
And this is along the same theme.
Sir, Tim, you have stage 4 halitosis. You need to get a tongue scraper. You need to be flossing twice a day. You should try oil pulling. You need to stay hydrated. And get back out there, Jim.
These are all great tips. All great tips.
I think a big part, actually, because I'm just going to admit to this, I'm reading a book right now called How to Get Your Mojo Back.
Oh, really? How perfect.
My mojo. I forget the author's name right now, but...
her name is Stella, and it's her groove, actually.
Oh, how Stella got her groove back. How Stevie got her groove back. One thing that he says in it that really stuck with me is... you lose your mojo when you can't accept things for what they are and move on. Like, that's why you're losing your mojo, dude, because you're just not accepting the way things are right now and just moving on with your life. Like, stop questioning why this girl doesn't want to hook up. Stop questioning why you lost your mojo. Just accept everything for what it is right now and just go on with your life. And, you know, you'll probably never figure out why this girl... stop talking to you or shut you down or however.
But she did.
But she did.
Because he didn't screw anything up. That was actually very great advice, TV. So thank you for adding in that little quote. But you didn't do anything wrong. As we've said many times.
Is wounded though, and that's going to read.
Right, and that's what I think Stevie was saying. Yeah. And I think what you're saying with that also is that it's your energy that you project, and so when you hang on these things, you start to look sad, and you know your shoulders go forward and stuff. Yeah. And so
what I'm also reading here from this was that this woman was trying hard to possibly or potentially make something happen and see if he could be as playful back with her. I didn't hear anything about you slapping her ass when she went to the bathroom or you leading in some way to initiate what she was initiating. It was kind of all her. So it sounds like you were being a little bit complacent and maybe not really moving the interaction forward, which is why she potentially didn't feel chemistry. So when you do lose your mojo and you know your confidence levels are a little bit lower, you're not really taking initiative and also contributing to what's going on in the interaction, which is most likely why she didn't feel any chemistry. But she was trying really hard. So I don't think you did anything.
Rub her knees too.
Yeah, exactly. Or behind her knees, which is a great erogenous.
Maybe you didn't have big enough knees.
Maybe. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. But yeah, I think what everybody here says is fantastic. I would say stop questioning it, but maybe go and work on your confidence levels a little bit. And you can go buy my product, How to Become a Man Women Want, which is on my website, which will teach you how to gain your confidence back, erase all of these beliefs that you have in your head that are negative, that are possibly holding back, so that you can actually put yourself out there, flirt and banter, and be super sexy.
By the way, I know everybody's waiting with bated breath for the definition of fractioning.
Oh, yes.
I dug it up. This dude on this message board thinks it's the first deadly seduction secret. It's a big deal to this guy.
Wow.
He writes, "This is the most important closing technique anyone could ever learn. This is my first tutorial, blah, 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 blah." So basically he says, ask her if anything great has ever happened to her, such and such, and then link yourself to it by saying that same thing turned out to be very bad for you.
Oh, it's NLP. Okay.
She will feel an emotional tie to you, and then it's called the mother reaction and their instincts kicking in. Then repeat this several times, but doing the opposite with positives and negative situations. After doing this for a while...
Women aren't worth it. This is too much work.
No, this is interesting. Come on.
You need Kino to escalate her emotions.
Touch. Kino is touch.
You need quinoa.
Exactly.
Love quinoa.
Basically, you're escalating her emotions into a physical manifestation, and you're going to get your cock sucked. I don't know.
Awesome. Okay, what website was that on?
Bullshit.com.
PUA lingo.
Yeah, sociopath.org.
What is it?
Pickupartistforum.com.
There you go. That is my friend's website. So pickupartistforum.com. Okay.
Do that level of manipulation.
But it's interesting. Yeah. So this is an interesting psychological tactic that can be used for good or for evil. But what Art just read about is it's It's a technique called NLP, which is neuro-linguistics programming. So it's they're called anchors. So they're
Major League Penis?
Yeah, you're creating associations
MLP?
with people. NLP.
NLP, okay.
So it's creating associations.
NOPE.
Yeah, nope. but it's creating associations for people. So if I ask you, what was your favorite day in life? And Stevie says, it was when I was at the circus and blah, blah, blah. And then I can take what you've said, use that in my own dialogue. I'm not an NLP practitioner or anything, so I don't. It's not obviously. There's really
question.
seamless ways of doing it.
Life? If someone asked me that, I'd be like,
it's just, when was the last time you felt scared? Whatever it is, you see what their emotions are, and then you connect yourself to those emotions.
Can you imagine though if you applied that to anywhere else in your life, how much more you would get out of it? Like, why do that to a person? That's so weird.
Well, it just seems like it's a very short.
Think about if you apply it to other areas of your life.
But it seems like a very short-term thing, because then all of a sudden, then you become a couple, and then you stop doing this like NLPing or whatever. you're just peeing on the toilet,
and pissing her off.
It just
Exactly.
Literally.
Good pun. Exactly. I didn't even mean to do that. But we'll talk about NLP another time, because I want to have a specialist in here, because I know this is the thing. I am and was part of the pickup artist community, not even close to being a traditional pickup artist. But there are people who do use this information for negative things with bad intention. Yeah. And there are people who use this information for psychological purposes, where they do have something positive. It's like giving them extra tools in their pocket. For example,
that should be instinctual. Your game should be instinctual, because
in
this guy has no
world.
game. He's learning it from a book. Well,
where are you supposed to learn it from?
Get out at the bar.
She writes books about
this stuff. But exactly. But get out in the bar and do what? Yes, you should learn.
Buy them a drink. Don't ask them about their favorite day in their life.
But do you know how many guys?
Their favorite
do you know how many guys have bought drinks for girls and they have been unsuccessful? There's way more to it than that. Listen, being good with women or being good with people is not natural for anybody. It is a skill set, which means that it's learnable.
What if you don't have a favorite day of your life? Then what?
Well, then you're
What if
fucked.
I don't want to think about that right now?
I'm
trying to enjoy my
girl.
cocktail.
I don't know. I'm throwing out a question.
I have no favorite day.
But there's other questions that are asked. It's like, when was the last time you were on a roller? There's all these different things. Ross Jeffries is famous for all that shit, and he's psycho. But there's other people who do use NLP for magnificent, wonderful things to help themselves and to help other people. Like, for example, Dale Carnegie, which is, it's not NLP, I don't think, but it's classic social interaction lessons. It's about learning to appreciate other people. And you can look at the tactics in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, yes, I've read this.
And you can say, that's complete manipulation. Or you can say that's a great way of interacting with people, where instead of, just saying what I want, you're appreciating somebody first and then asking for what you want.
Well, and it just teaches you, it gives you just little tips like, be a great listener, because no one's a great listener.
Exactly.
And people will appreciate you if you're a great listener. And so there are little things that you can apply to life, and that will...
Exactly. So from the fractionation definition, there are little wonderful things that are within that definition, but if used for evil, it will be given back to you in an evil way.
Experience is going to be more educational than...
Absolutely. But, let's say you were a brain surgeon, and you just kept going into brain surgery and fucking up and killing people... They would fire you eventually. So you would go back to school, you would learn how to be a doctor, you'd learn about how the brain works, and then you go in and you would have your experience with the brain, and then you would be the best brain surgeon in the entire world. So coupling education with, real life practice and situations.
But if we're talking about dating and finding a partner, isn't there instinct involved?
There is, absolutely, but there's a lot more to it. Even for myself, I'm a very intuitive person, or I would say I'm a very intuitive person. But with my husband, if I don't learn about how men work or about how my husband works, do some research, do some work on myself, and only use my instinct, I'm kind of screwing myself for my relationship. So... maybe not. I could be the most instinctual person in the entire world.
The way you're getting screwed, right?
Right, exactly. But I do think that with everything in life, there has to be some sort of work put into it as well, as natural as it can be for us. If you're a natural athlete, you still have to work at it.
Well, I think it also benefits you in the sense of, like you were just saying, you'll read about men so that you can understand your husband better. And sometimes it gives you some clarity on things, and you're like, okay, I understand why he's doing this then. It's not because he hates me or because I suck. It's actually not me. It's just the way that men, absorb this or do this or that. It's not actually because of me. It's that's how he processes things.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. And then you can move on from that. And next time it happens, it's not going to drive you crazy. So, yes, there are things that, are good.
Yes, there are things that are good.
There are things that are good.
Thank you. That was a perfect ending. Do we have enough time for one more question, or are we done?
Got to wrap up?
We're done. To wrap up. But I think we gave a lot of really good information, even though we didn't get to a lot of questions. I think there was a lot discussed here. And I want to thank our two guests. Stevie,
Such good information.
Ryan.
Thank
Well,
you
actually,
so much.
I want you guys to plug yourself. So tell people where to find you, where they can hear about you.
You can find me in my apartment with my dogs by myself. And please don't knock because I don't like visitors
Do you have
at
a pug?
all. I have a pug Yorkie. I have a Porky. So he's very cute. But you can find me online, I guess. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Stevie Ryan, or Instagram, Stevie Ryan. Just Stevie Ryan. Google me. I don't know. I got nothing for you guys.
It's
You have
amazing.
a lot
That's
of
more than,
stuff.
it's more than me. Not her. I mean, she has a lot of stuff.
That's not more than you.
No,
You
I
have
don't know.
a- you have
I'm
a wet-
self-deprecating. But
Exactly.
Taylor,
My album's called Time Stands Still. It's coming out later this year. If you're in LA, I'm playing at the Mint on May 2nd.
oh, fun.
Oh, cool. The Mint is a good place.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And right now I'm off to the modeling agency to ask some girls what their favorite day was.
There you go. It'll
not
work.
gonna have one.
I'm
They're
telling you.
models.
If you learn about it, it will work. But thanks, guys, for being on the show.
you so
give
much.
great advice to the men and women that are listening. Anybody who has questions, write into ask@askwomenpodcast.com. And you can download new episodes of our show every Thursday. But it's better if you actually just subscribe on iTunes or on Podcast One, because then it will automatically go into your podcasting feed and you don't have to do any work, which is always a plus.
Amazing. Awesome.
nice.
Well, be sure to check out Taylor Locke and Stevie Ryan. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much, you guys.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.